Being demand-centered is key. Focusing on sales, it's amazing how good your feedback becomes when you ask somebody for money. Again, we get a lot of false positives, and I've had it here in the room today. A few people asked me, what do you think about my idea? I don't know. What did customers tell you? Has anyone given you money? That's really all that matters. I can only misguide you in this. The only thing that matters is the customer's vote is all that matters. And so that's how I want to help you, is to get to talk to more customers and find out their interest in solving the problem that you imagine. And hopefully you find out that the problem exists. The whole next step is actually finding a solution that they imagine will solve the problem. The first thing you have to validate is that they're interested in solving the problem. So I'll give you an example. So my wife and I, for several years, bought businesses and fixed them and sold them. That was, like people buy houses and fix them and sell them. We were doing that with businesses. And so for 3 years, we owned a weight loss business, which was really funny because we owned that after an ice cream business. So we went from being the drug dealer to the rehab center, was sort of how we looked at it. So the funny thing that would happen in the weight loss business, and there were kind of a lot of funny things that happened in that business, but one of the funny things was periodically a spouse, a husband or a wife, would come in and say, "Could you talk to my spouse about losing weight?" I don't know about you, that doesn't sound like a very fun conversation, right? So we have to somehow confront the person and say, "You're kind of fat. How about if we help you lose some weight?" I mean, we're not going to do that, right? They have to, in order for somebody to lose weight, they have to want to lose weight. We can't project that problem on them, right? And I don't mean to be looking at you. You look wonderful, but I need eye contact. I need validation. But the idea here is people have to opt in. They have to be urgent for that. We can't create their urgency to be healthy or whatever you might imagine. So that's kind of the key here. Is the best feedback for any idea. We can do surveys, and all this stuff is great, and it tells us if we should keep going, but it doesn't validate our idea. What ultimately validates our idea is when somebody hands over, we would say some Benjamins, but whatever your money is, exchanges real currency for whatever it is the solution that you have. That's the only real reliable way. And the sooner you get to that, again, if your goal is investment or sustainability, dollars or I shouldn't say dollars, but monetary exchange is really important, because if your goal is investment, you're going to quickly de-risk what you're doing for the investors. But even more than that, you may discover you don't need investors. I have a very good friend that just sold his business. It was a 3-year-old business. He's 40 years old. He does not have to work again. It's kind of that's a good day, right? You'd feel pretty good after that. He now can make all sorts of choices that he didn't have the opportunity to make 3 years ago. But the cool thing about his story really is that he did it all self-financed. He did it all with his own money and bootstrapped, and he was revenue positive in the first month. And so it was pretty obvious after his first year that they had some really good traction and things were going well. And sort of from the first year till he sold, he had a call once a week from an investor that was looking to give him money, that to essentially they wanted to join his ride as opposed to him joining their ride. And so it's almost like dating, right? If you want to get a date, there are two ways, right? You can want to get a date, and you're probably going to be home on Friday nights, or you can work on being interesting, and other people will become interested in you. And it's the same thing with investment. We can want investment. We can passionately work on that. It's like wanting good grades or something. But if you love learning, or if you enjoy sort of building your own story, becoming, whether it's enjoying sports or enjoying art or whatever it is, you're going to begin attracting people that have similar interests and that you have commonality with. And for investors, all they care about is a strong return on investment. So you actually really want to do the same path, whether you seek investment or whether you just simply seek to create a good company, and that's attract customers, because ultimately they're the gateway to everything you want to create.